Good morning, friends. Welcome back. And you are with me on watching Ancillary Physics 3 Electricity and Electronics. In this lecture, I will discuss the sensitivity of the Wheatstone bridge. Sensitivity of Wheatstone bridge. So Wheatstone bridge, it's a network of resistors. This was developed by Charles Wheatstone. So Wheatstone bridge was developed by Charles Wheatstone. And this modern digital electronics replaces many of the uses of Wheatstone bridge, even till now, with the assistance of operational amplifiers and other electronic components, Wheatstone bridge still occupies its application in transducers, sensors and other applications. And even though the digital multimeters are available, even now people has been using the Wheatstone bridge in order to identify, measure the resistance of milliohms, even though there is a multimeter is available for this purpose because of this preciseness or accurateness. Fine, let's see the sensitivity of Wheatstone bridge in this lecture. So let's draw the diagram. So Wheatstone bridge is a network of 4 resistors which are connected in such a way that it will look like a diamond structure, so that you can draw 4 resistors in this way. Earlier we have named it as P, Q, and this one is R and this one is S. However, in this lecture, for this derivation purpose, we are going to name it in different way. Anyway, let's keep this. In the middle, there is a galvanometer connected. This point is, this junction is A, and this junction is B, this junction is C, and this junction is D. Between A and C, we have to connect a battery, essentially a Lagrange cell. Here a Lagrange cell is connected. I let you as a homework to search and identify what is the output of a Lagrange cell. There are different chemical cells, Daniell cell, Lagrange cell, and I will give you a hint. Among Lagrange and Daniell cell, one cell will give you 1.02 volt as output, while another cell will give you 1.05 volt as output. You find it out and let me know in the chart what is the output of the Lagrange cell. One such Lagrange cell is connected here. Let us denote this as E. And here galvanometer is connected, and galvanometer resistance is denoted by G. And the current through the galvanometer is denoted by Ig. And now this resistance is named as R. And this R is, let us take, it is an unknown resistance. We don't know the resistance of this R. If you have know all 3 resistance, then you can able to calculate this resistance, but that we will discuss in the next lecture. And in this lecture we will discuss the sensitivity of Wheatstone bridge. Anyhow, let us assume that the resistor value of this resistance is R, which is unknown, and the current through this resistor is, let's take I. Now let's consider this resistor as MR1, and this resistor is NR1, and this resistor is NMR1. That is, R1 is a fixed resistance if we assume. Then, for example, 10 ohms. Suppose if R1 equal to 10 ohms, the naming ideology of these three resistors are, this contains m times R1, this contains n time R1. For example, it may have 2 R1, that is 20, and it may have 3 R1, that is 30. If this is the case, 2 into 3, 6, so this should have 60 or 60 ohms. In that way we name it as. In terms of R1, we are naming all three resistance. Okay, it is the multiples of the resistance value R1, and this is R which is unknown. And now, as we said now, so this is the direction of the current flow. So current flow from negative to positive, and here at junction it divided into two direction. At this point, you can write that is current through this resistor NR1 is the summation of I plus Ig, because whatever the current coming through this will flow in this direction, because we have put the arrow mark in upwards, so that whatever the current coming here will divide and it's going through these two directions, so that at this point the current is this I plus this Ig, and here also current is moving, and let us denote this current is I1, right? We don't know what is the current coming through this, so it is divided into two things, two directions. In this, the current going through this direction we can denote as a summation of I plus Ig here, and here let us take I1. If this is I1 and this is Ig, so these two current joins at this node and it flows through this direction. So current through this resistance MR1 is I1 plus Ig, which means at this node we are applying at this node D and this node B, applied with node D and B were applied with Kirchhoff current law. Right. Now, so this is the setup. In this case, if the bridge is balanced, when it is said to be balanced, when the bridge has zero flow of current through this. When it will have zero flow of current, when the bridge will be balanced, when P by Q, which is equal to R by S. In this case, the bridge will be balanced. So what is P? P is NMR1 by Q is MR1, and R is, what is R? NR1, and S is R. M will cancel out, so NR1 by R1. Here right side NR1 by R. That is, when R which is equal to R1, suppose if this resistance is equal to this resistance, then the bridge will be balanced, so that whatever the current flowing through this will follow these two parallel resistors set of it will flow through this direction and through this direction, not in this direction, because it is balanced, right? That is, the potential difference between B and D is 0. This happens when R is equal to R1 happens. At this case, if R equal to R1, then Ig becomes 0. And so this is the condition for balance. Now suppose the difference R minus R1, and this is nothing but the measure of want of balance. What do you mean by that? The measure of want of balance. That is, want of balance means, so how much resistance you want to include in this R further in order to create a balance. That is want of balance. If R minus R1 is greater, then the want of balance is high. That is, if the difference is high, then the bridge is far away from the balance. And even though the other point is, even though this difference is small, if this Ig is large, then this bridge will be most sensitive. If Ig is large, this bridge will be most sensitive. So 2 points. One, if R minus R1 is large, then bridge is far away from balance. Another point, even though R minus R1 is small, if Ig is large, then bridge will be more sensitive. Fine. Now, applying Kirchhoff's voltage law to this loop A, B, D, A and B, C, D, B, we will obtain two equations. So first step, so Kirchhoff's voltage law to the loop A, B, D, A. What it will give you? NMR1 I1. So it becomes NMR1 multiplied by I1. So it is in the direction of the flow of current, so that this is plus. And in this line, G into Ig, you have to put minus sign because we are moving the direction opposite to the flow of current, so that minus G into Ig. Then here also we are moving against the direction of the flow of the current, so that NR1 I plus Ig, which is equal to 0. This is equation number 1. And KVL to the loop, this one, B, C, D, B. B, C, D, B. This will give you this direction. So MR1 multiplied by I1 plus Ig minus Ri plus Gig, which is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. Now, multiply this equation with n. So, multiply equation number 2 with n, that will give us NMR1. Let me multiply inside I1 plus NMR1 Ig minus minus NRI plus NG Ig equal to 0. This is equation number 3. Now, subtract this equation number 3 from equation number 1. So, subtract equation 3 from equation 1. That will give us, let us write this, NMR1 I1 plus NMR1 Ig minus NRI plus NG Ig minus NMR1 I1 plus Gig plus NR1 I plus NR1 Ig equal to 0. Now, this and this will cancel out. What is remaining? NMR1 Ig minus NRI plus NGIG plus GIG NR1I, N1 R1 Ig equal to 0. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 Ig terms are there. in which in two terms G component is there, in two terms there is no G component. Let us consider this two. Let us take out n out common, n, and also Ig is common, so that n, and let's take Ig as common, so that what is remaining, m r1. Let's take it's better, we can take n r1 is common. Yeah, let's take n r1 is common. So in this, so it will be blurrents m. So Ig also we are going to take it as common. nr1 is common, so this is plus 1 multiplied by Ig. So this and this okay. Next thing is, let's consider another two. What is that? This one and this one, where we can take Gig. So plus G n plus 1, so n plus 1, n, G and Ig we have taken as common for this and for this terms. So we have taken G as common, Ig also as common, so here remaining is 1, here n, so that n plus 1 Ig. And what is remaining? So now this is okay and this is okay, remaining minus nri and plus nr1i. In this case, let's take minus n and I is out. In that case, if you take minus n, it becomes r minus r1 I. So if you take minus n, in this term, minus n comes out, I also comes out, remaining is r. Here if you take minus, there will be another minus inside, so that minus 1 here, right? So this is the case, and this is equal to 0, and this is equal to 0. And now we can take Ig common in this, right? In both this Ig is common, so we can write this as, so G n plus 1 plus n r1 m plus 1 multiplied by Ig, which is equal to, so this is minus, right? So this can be, take it to the right hand side, it becomes n times r minus r1 I. Now if you want to rewrite this equation for Ig by I, what we can write, you bring this terms, that is multiplied with Ig to the denominator of right hand side, and you bring I to the denominator of left hand side, so that this becomes Ig by I n times r minus r1 divided by G n plus 1 plus n r1 m plus 1. Okay, but in this two, let us take n outside common, so that we can cancel out each other. So let me rewrite this as, what I can write, n into r minus r1 divided by, if I take n outside, in this case, how to take n outside in this? If I take n, so there is an n plus 1, if I want to take n outside, what will be that? Here it becomes 1, here it becomes 1 by n, right? In that way, here what will be? I have taken n outside, so this becomes G times 1 plus 1 by n, this n is taken out, so r1 m plus 1. Okay, now this and this will cancel out, so we have the expression for Ig by I, that is equal to r minus r1 divided by G times 1 plus 1 by n plus r1 m plus 1. So this we can write as equation number 4. Are you clear in this? I hope so. So I hope this line is straight, right? Fine. See, now the sensitivity of the bridge is said to be high when the Ig is high. Okay, that is what, right? If Ig is large, the bridge has more sensitivity. That is what we have told earlier. And what are the ways this Ig can be large? Ig can be large under 4 situations. 1, when I is large, right? If the not I1, if the I is large, that is the current flowing through this resistor is unknown resistance, that current flowing through the unknown resistance is large, then obviously this also will be large according to this equation. Okay, fine. Sorry, this is small. If I is small, not large. Why? Because according to Kirchhoff's current law, this I plus Ig is flowing to this node. If this side, if I is low, automatically it means Ig is large. One thing. Other thing, B. If the galvanometer resistance is low, then automatically current will flow the low resistance path. So that there also Ig will be high when if G is small. And third case, if N is large, and fourth case, if M is small. These are the 4 cases under which the Ig will be maximum. When the multiplication factor N is large, then the Ig will be higher, or if the multiplication factor M, where is M? Here and here there is M. If this M is small, then also Ig will be high. Fine. Now, but there are some limitations. What is the limitation? This. Sorry, this is high actually. I'm sorry. This is high. Right. If I is large, which means if the current through this resistance is large, what does it mean? The excess current, you cannot increase the current infinitely through this resistance. That will create the heat, emission of heat through the unknown resistance. And if the temperature of the resistance is increases, it will alter the resistance of the unknown resistance, so that will decrease the balance of the Wheatstone bridge. So you cannot increase this to the infinity. And the galvanometer resistance is concerned, this also you cannot decrease to the very lowest value. If you decrease for to the least extent, that also changes the sensitivity of the bridge. So these 2 things cannot be completely achieved. So that other cases is, in order to have the maximum sensitivity of the bridge, only when N is large and M is small. But under which case N is large? So ideally, so these are the limitations. Ideally, if you put N tends to infinity and M tends to 0. In this case is the maximum possible large N and minimum possible small m. If you apply these 2 conditions to this equation, what will become? You will get, in this equation, if you put, you will get Ig by I, which is equal to, if you put N is equal to infinity here, if this is infinity, 1 by infinity becomes 0, so that G is remaining, and m equal to 0, so that R1 is remaining. So this equation becomes R minus R1 by G plus R1. But the question is whether this is achievable. This is not achievable. Why? Because if you put n is equal to infinity in these two cases, the resistor NMR1 and the resistor NR1, that is the resistor between AB and the resistor between AD, becomes infinite. If it is infinite, nothing will be flow into that ideally. So that is not possible. So you cannot put n tends to infinity. What about m equal to 0? If m equal to 0, then NMR1, MR1, right? That is the resistor between AB and BC. Both will become 0. In that case, this will be short circuited. So that is also not possible. So what would be other possibility? Let's take n equal to 1 and m equal to 1. In this case, what would be the equation? Ig by I, that is equal to R minus R1 divided by, if you put n equal to 1, 1 plus 1, 2, so that 2G plus, if m is equal to 1, then 1 plus 1, 2, 2R1. If you take common, 2G plus R1. So in this case also, right, it is half to the earlier case. So this will give you maximum sensitivity. So this will give you maximum sensitivity. But in general, it is said to be, in order to achieve maximum sensitivity, let's take n greater than 1, m less than 1 as a thumb rule. Let's take this as a thumb rule. Okay, fine. And there are other two rules while talking about the sensitivity. One is calendar rule. One is calendar rule. According to this rule, according to calendar rule, the sensitivity of the bridge will be higher if the resistance in series with the unknown resistance is higher than the resistance in parallel, right? Suppose if you are considering this as unknown resistance, the resistance connected to this as series, that is this resistance, should be greater than the resistance connected to it with this parallel. So these two setup is parallel, right? So with unknown resistance, with unknown R, the series resistance should be high. Should be higher than parallel resistance, simply. That is, you have to compare with the unknown resistance. For this unknown resistance, some resistance will be connected series and some will be connected parallel. So the series resistance should be higher than that of the parallel one. That is one rule which is given by calendar rule. And it is said to be calendar rule, and this is the one which give you the maximum sensitivity, right? And other thing, the question is that whether can I interchange the position of galvanometer and the battery? Yes, you can do that, but in this both cases, the sensitivity may not be same. The sensitivity will be vary. So in that case, Maxwell gives another rule regarding arrangement of this. According to Maxwell rule, if you consider the battery and galvanometer, the one whose internal resistance is high, you have to calculate the resistance of the galvanometer and resistance of the battery, and which one is the higher resistance. That should be connected between, so the higher resistance element among galvanometer and battery, so that higher resistance element should be connected between the junctions where two high resistance and two low resistance meets. Okay, between the junctions of two high and low resistances. Right? So there are set of 4 resistance, among which there will be 2 high resistance which will be meeting at a point that is called junction. There will be another two resistors which are having a higher resistance that also will meet at another junction. Between these two junctions, we have to connect the component, either a battery or the galvanometer whose resistance is high. So that is the Maxwell rule in order to get the maximum sensitivity of the Wheatstone bridge. So this is the idea of the sensitivity of Wheatstone bridge. Let us recollect once again. So Charles Wheatstone is the person who designed this circuit. It is combination of 4 resistors, one galvanometer, one battery. Essentially, it is a Lagrange cell. So this bridge is said to be balanced when the current flow through the galvanometer is 0. That is achieved under the condition P by Q, which is equal to R by S, and we have named this resistance as, this is unknown resistance R, where the current through this unknown resistance is I, and we name this resistance, these 3 resistors, as the multiples of R1. It is denoted by MR1, this one is NR1, this one is product of NMR1, and current through this resistor is denoted by I plus Ig, and current through this resistor is I1. And applying Kirchhoff's current law at this point we have written I plus Ig and I1 plus Ig, right? Applying this concept, we have identified that if R is equal to R1, then Ig is equal to 0. You can apply here. So this is the case where the sensitivity is maximum. Then the difference tells us the want of balance, that is how much required resistance should be added in order to get the balance of this circuit. So this is given that R1, if R minus R1 is large, then the bridge is said to be far away from the balance. Even though R minus R1 is small, if the Ig is large, then the bridge is more sensitive. With this, we have applied Kirchhoff's voltage law to the loop ABDA and BCDB, and we have done some arithmetic calculations. We have ended up with an equation for Ig by I, which gives this relation. And there are 4 conditions under which the Ig can be maximum, which means the sensitivity of the bridge is maximum. That is when I is high, or G is small, or N is large, and M is small. We have certain limitations that I cannot be too much high and G cannot be too much small, so that we can make N is large and M is small. Ideally, N could be infinity and M is 0, but that is also not possible to implement on circuit because of infinite resistance and 0 resistance. One will create open circuit and another will create short circuit. So all these limitations, we ended up with putting N equal to 1 and M equal to 1. That will give us the equation Ig by I is equal to R minus R1 by 2 plus G plus R1. That is the expression for maximum sensitivity of this setup. And in general, we assume that N greater than 1 and M less than 1 as a thumb rule to have the maximum sensitivity. There are 2 rules. One is Callendar rule, another one is Maxwell's rules is given, and to understand where the maximum sensitivity can be achieved. So with this, let me stop here. We will continue in the next lecture. See you then. Be safe. Bye.